Well, hi everybody, this is J.R. Ibarra from Perris Auto Speedway for the season finale Jack and Dahl Classic with the Napa Auto Parts Auto Trader Magazine's SCRA Sprint Cars. Just moments ago, we had a chance to talk to some of our top drivers to see what to expect here with 50 laps of action.
The track's going to change a lot in 50 laps, and you just gotta, you gotta run hard. You can't lag back. Turn 3 and 4 is pretty sticky. 1 and 2 is a little slick. So we're going to try to get through the sticky end fast and give away the slow end.
For me, on longer runs, usually I'm a little bit more patient than some of the younger guys, and so they work out pretty good for me.
What are you expecting for tonight?
Well, we got a good starting spot. We're going to be starting up front on the outside of the front row, so 50 laps is a long race, and the racetrack's kind of a little bit different, but it's pretty tacky down here in 3 and 4 and a little bit drier down in 1 and 2. So we'll just kind of pace ourselves there at the beginning, and we want to try to lead some of those laps. I know they're paying lap money tonight for each lap, so we want to do that and just kind of see where we are with about 10-15 to go, and hopefully we're up front.
Gary, first pole for the year. You guys have a pretty good car running tonight.
Yes, the car seems to be working real good. The motor's really running good. I got good tires on it, and everything seems to be good.
What are you looking for in a 50-lapper?
Just to find where I need to run and pace myself, and if I don't lead the race, hope to stay with the leaders, and just hope that the car's good at the end of the race, and I'll be able to run in the top 5 anyways. That'd be awesome if I could do that.
Tonight's telecast of the SCRA is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running. By Auto Trader Magazines, the used car source. And by J.E. Pistons. By TCR Performance, your leader in sprint car chassis and components. Spintech Performance Mufflers. By SprintCars.com. And by SimpsonRaceProducts.com. Welcome back to Perris Auto Speedway for the 50-lap Jack and Dahl Classic to finish off the 2002 season for the Napa Auto Parts Auto Trader Magazine's SCRA Sprint Cars. Let's now take a look at the Spintech starting grid. For the first time this season, Gary W. Howard on the pole along with the gas man Rich Griffin to his outside. Mike English and Steve Osling comprise row number 2. It's the Demon Damien Gardner and Charles Davis in row number 3. The Indiana visitor Levi Jones and Mike Spencer will comprise row number 4. It's Cowboy Tony Jones along with the Wild Man Rodney Argo in row 5. Holland Hollywood John Scott along with Casey Schumann in row number 6. Row number 7 will comprise of Super Ricky Gons along with the Ripper Rip Williams. Tracy Hines, another one of our USAC veterans, visiting tonight along with Jordan Hermanzader in row number 8. It's Mike Kirby and the Rookie of the Year, Bobby Cody, in row number 9. Dan Hilberg along with Greg Stanfield will comprise row number 10. And in our 11th and final row, it will be Troy Rutherford along with Seth Wilson. So we are set to go 50 laps of action in the Jack and Dahl Classic to round out the season finale for the Napa Auto Parts Auto Trader Magazine's SCRA Sprint Cars. J.R. Ibarra along with you. Glad to have you along with us. And we're so grateful that you've been with us all season long. We are now under green. It looks like the gas man, Richard Griffin, will go topside and get the advantage as they come out at 2. He'll take the lead, followed by Gary W. Howard, Mike English, Charles Davis, and Steve Osling in your top 5. The Demon Damien Gardner wants to go toe-to-toe with him as well, and Osling getting on into the inside of Charles Davis as they come down into 1. English and Osling following suit on the lower side. The gas man, Richard Griffin, your 2002 series champion, just motoring down the road. As you see Osling giving the slide job there on Davis. Gardner wants to now go topside. Actually brings it down to the middle portion of the groove, and now Davis following Osling. And here you now see the battle back in the 8th position with Levi Jones along with the Wild Man, Rodney Argo. There's already some battles sizing up to the back portion of your top 10. The gas man, Richard Griffin, opens up a slight more advantage over the rest of the pack as now you see the Demon Damien Gardner wants to go toe-to-toe with Osling. He'll take that spot away. He's going to now try to track down Charles Davis. So Gardner, his first time in the Harlan Willis machine this season, now looking to the outside of Davis as they come out of 3. He climbs the wheel over Gary W. Howard, slightly brushes the wall. He'll lose a couple of positions, but he'll keep on motoring down the road as we have 5 laps in to our 50-lapper. Now Rip Williams getting sideways, almost up against that wall. There you see Cowboy Tony Jones and Ricky Gaunt battling for the 10th spot. But the Demon Damian Gardner, as we take a close look, there you see the right front shock flopping around. So apparently that car is now wounded. Obviously, it may mean a very tough car to handle as he brings it out of 2. Look at the cars going side by side coming out of 2. And you got cars battling all over this racetrack here at Perris Auto Speedway. Gary W. Howard now getting around Steve Osling. Mike Spencer wants to follow suit as they come out of 4. Spencer now looking to go topside on Osling. While all that happens, your 2002 Series champion Richard Griffin begins to pull away even further from the remaining part of the pack. Osling now going to put the slide job on Gary W. Howard as they come out of 4. He'll take that spot away. Mike Spencer wants to follow suit underneath. Look at these cars going 3 and 4 wide with Rip Williams, Ricky Gaunt, and Rodney Argo. We're 10 laps into this one. We have 2 cars spun between 1 and 2, and we are under caution. Dan Hilberg and Casey Schumann. And now looks like Bobby Cody is slowing back into the pit area. That'll send us the break. We'll be back with more from the Perris Auto Speedway right after these words. Welcome back to Perris Auto Speedway. We have 40 laps remaining in this 50-lap Jack and Dahl Classic, with the gas man Richard Griffin currently leading, with Mike English running second. Sergeant Charles Davis running in the 3rd spot. Davis now going to look down low. Looks like he'll have English now looking to the top side, has the advantage as they come across the stripe. So Mike English, who's looking for his first feature win of the year, goes wheel to wheel, pushes aside Richard Griffin as they come down into 3. So he'll take the top spot temporarily. So Mike English will lead this lap. Griffin's now going to go topside to see if he can steal that top one back away from the Jory car. Osling now putting the slide job on Sergeant Charles Davis. So we have some great battles within your top 5. Osling now looking to go wheel to wheel with the gas man Richard Griffin. Griffin once again is going to go topside against Mike English. Let's see if he can get a run coming off of 2, and it still remains English, your leader. So Mike English, who's been in the top 10 in points, has had some fairly consistent runs. As we mentioned, is still looking for that first win here in 2002. Great shot of the speed that they come up against here at Perris Auto Speedway as they go 2 and 3 wide as they come out at 2. Now the gas man, Richard Griffin's going to take the advantage as he goes topside against that cushion as they come out of 4. So he will once again be your leader here at Perris Auto Speedway. Now Steve Osling trying to get to the inside of Mike English, but it will remain English in the 2nd position. Osling now looking low as they come out of 4, but we are under caution. Apparently we have some debris on the track, and that will bring us to a temporary halt, and we'll step aside for this break. Welcome back to Perris Auto Speedway. As we are back to green, we've had our little altercation, which really wasn't anything major. We just had some debris on the racetrack, and that's been taken care of quite promptly. As we're back to action, Richard Griffin continues to be your leader here in the Jack and Dahl Classic. Steve Osling currently running in the 2nd spot, and here's your battle for 5th. Super Ricky Gaunt, along with Gary W. Howard, who has fallen back a couple of positions, along with Mike Spencer going toe-to-toe and wheel-to-wheel with each other. So there's nice side-by-side action going on here with these SCRA sprint cars. Mike Spencer, who's had some great runs here in the last portion of 2002, had a great run at the Oval Nationals, winding up 5th. This race is dedicated to the memory of the great SCRA race car owner Jack and Dahl, As now we see Seth Wilson, looks like his engine has expired. Doesn't look like that will take us to caution. Now we have a battle for the lead with Steve Ostling getting the advantage as they come on to 2. He'll grab that top spot. He keeps it down on the lower groove, and it looks like Ostling will now be your leader as they come across the stripe. So Steve Ostling, who's had some pretty good runs here in 2002 as well, now decisively takes the lead over the gas man Richard Griffin. Steve Ostling, who had a preliminary feature race, as now we see the battle for the 4th spot, comprising that of Rip Williams going to the inside along with Super Ricky Gunt and Mike Spencer as they come out at 2. Now it looks like Williams going to challenge his own teammate and Mike Inglis as they come out of 4. There you see the Jory cars running nose to tail. And now Williams looking to the inside of Mike Inglis as they take it out at 2. And Williams will take that spot. Spencer now looking to go wheel to wheel with Mike English. Ricky Gaunt still in the hunt there. This is your battle within the top 5. And now Ricky Gaunt on the tail tank there of Mike English. And now things are beginning to string out here as they come down into 3. And Williams takes it out of 4. Back up front to Steve Ostling. As we were mentioning, Steve Ostling had a preliminary feature race victory for the Oval Nationals, a 20-lapper. And I know he was quite happy to come away with that victory. That was his first of 2002. Obviously, tonight would be a big win if he could pull this one off. Steve Ostling, who had a nice write-up in Sprint Car and Midget magazine just recently, talking about what it has taken to get to this part of his career. As you might recall, Steve Ostling was the points leader early on in the season. Unfortunately, was not able to make the entire tour back in the Midwest and had to give up that points lead. But nonetheless, he showed himself very strong in that Fisher Motorsports Sprinter. The gas man Richard Griffin continuing to run in the 2nd spot. What can you say about Richard Griffin? What a great season for this veteran. His 5th SCRA title in his career, along with a non-wing world championship title. So Ron Chafin Motorsports can once again be proudly called the top team here in SCRA action. Ostling continues to be your leader. Griffin now inching ever so slightly closer as they take it out at 2. Both running very different spots on the racetrack. Ostling content to run it down low, and Griffin has been pretty much close to that cushion all evening long. And basically, these guys have begun to run away from the rest of the pack. Now they're going to come up on some lap traffic. We do have caution. The Wildman Rodney Argo is up against the wall in row, I should say, in turn 3. We'll step aside for this break. We'll be back with more from Perris Auto Speedway. We're back to Perris Auto Speedway as we are now back to green. Here's your battle for the lead with Sergeant Charles Davis taking the advantage over Steve Ostling as we've had some major changes as we've been away. There you look at the top right-hand portion of your screen. That is the gas man, Richard Griffin, whose engine expired just a matter of a couple of laps ago. That takes him out of this race, and so now Sergeant Charles Davis is your leader. But now Steve Ostling looking to the inside as they come out at 2. So a disappointing night here for your 2002 Series champion, Richard Griffin. But now Sergeant Charles Davis having a great run. We look a little bit further back at Mike Spencer and Mike Kirby battling for the 3rd and 4th spot. We are back to caution. Levi Jones apparently has brushed the wall, stops right in the front straightaway, and that once again brings us to a temporary stoppage. We'll step aside for this break. We'll be back with more right after this. Back to Perris Auto Speedway. Levi Jones was A-OK in the latest little mishap here at Perris Auto Speedway as we are back to green. Sergeant Charles Davis is your leader, followed by Steve Ostling. Mike Kirby along with Mike Spencer continue to battle for that 3rd spot. Kirby and Spencer essentially have been going wheel to wheel for the past couple of laps. Looks like Kirby will have the advantage as they take it down into 2. Ostling now looking down low. Will he get a run as they come out of 4? No, it looks like Davis will be your leader across the stripe. Osling now, once again, hugging to that lower groove. But it remains Charging Charles Davis as they come down into 3. Davis now up against that cushion. Osling now looking to get the advantage as they take it on the inside. He's got it. So Steve Osling is back in your top spot. He's going to slide it up top against that groove. Mike Kirby decisively in the 3rd position. You got to keep an eye on Kirby, though. These are track conditions which really favor his driving style. So Mike Kirby, who has won a couple of races here on SCRA TV. Actually, he's won 3 races here on SCRA TV and 6 races overall here in 2002. Having a good run, but Ricky got motors right around him coming out of 2. Where did Ricky come from? Super Ricky Gant, who has 2 wins on the season. He's obviously trying to get himself back on the podium once again. As we're back up front, there you see Super Ricky Gant now in the 3rd spot and the Alexander Trucking Sprinter. So Kirby running 4th. Mike Spencer in your 5th spot. As you see him coming across the stripe with our speed shot. Tracy Hines now getting into the top 7. Take a look at this. Troy Rutherford now trying to get onto the inside of Mike Spencer. Troy Rutherford started way back at 21st. Did not have a good qualifying time tonight. Set him back in the pack. But being the great veteran that he is, has worked his way forward into the top 5. Back up front with Steve Osling along with Charging Charles Davis. Looks like Osling has put himself a couple of car lengths ahead of Davis as they take it out of 4. We have 10 laps remaining. Davis right up against that wall. Oh baby, he's right on that cushion, able to save it. Doesn't lose too much ground to Osling, but still sets himself back a little bit further. Now we see Troy Rutherford taking the advantage over Spencer. Tracy Hines now trying to get around Spencer. Tracy Hines, the USAC veteran, racing the tamale wagon for Andy Morales tonight. As we're back up, taking a look at our positions 2, 3, and 4. This is Troy Rutherford now. And now Ricky Gant going wheel to wheel once again with Mike Kirby. Super Ricky Gant scheduled once again to be back in the Alexander Sprinter in 2003. So I'm sure he's quite happy that he'll have that ride again. Mike Kirby, a different story for him. That team will dissolve after tonight's race. So Mike Kirby, we'll see what his plans will be for next season. Charging Charles Davis continues to run in the 2nd spot. Gant now looking down low to see if he can inch ever so closer to Charging Charles Davis. Has made up a little bit of territory as we look back up front to Steve Osling. Now we have a pretty tight race beginning to formulate between positions 2, 3, 4. And here's your battle for the 5th spot once again with Mike Spencer and Troy Rutherford. 5 laps remaining. 45 laps into the 50-lap Jack and Dahl Classic. Kirby now trying to sneak the nose down underneath Ricky Gant. Will he have the advantage as they come out of 4? No, it looks like Gant will once again take over that spot as they take it in between 1 and 2. Spencer now taking up against that cushion as well. So the laps beginning to wind down here for our season finale with the Napa Auto Parts Auto Trader Magazine's SCRA Sprint Car. Steve Osling now going to motor around to the top side with Dan Hilberg down low. Looks like Davis has moved himself just a little bit more towards that tail tank of Steve Osling. Osling now dips it down to the lower groove in between 3 and 4. He has pretty much kept it down low most of the night, and he's been working that groove very effectively. Osling now back up top side as they come out at 2. Take a look at Mike Kirby. There's some sparks coming out of the exhaust pipe, so he may be developing some engine difficulties. See when he stops on the throttle. Yeah, there's plenty of sparks coming out of that one. We've got 1 lap remaining. Osling taking up top, coming out at 2. Let's see if he brings it down low, which he's done all night between 3 and 4. Yep, hugs that berm very tightly. will have a nice advantage as he comes out of 4, and Steve Osling will be your victor tonight at Perris Auto Speedway in the 50-lap Jack and Dog Classic. A very popular one here for Steve Osling. Let's now take a quick look at the TCR Performance Top 10 for the night. Steve Osling in the top spot, followed by Chargin' Charles Davis, Super Ricky Gaunt, Mike Kirby, and Mike Spencer in your top 5. Troy Rutherford, Tracy Hines, Mike English, Dan Hilbert, and Tony Jones rounding out your top 10. Tonight's telecast of SCRA action is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running. And by Auto Trader Magazines, the used car source. By Spintech Performance Mufflers. If it sounds too good to be true, it must be Spintech. And by J.E. Pistons. TCR Performance, your leader in sprint car chassis and components. SimpsonRaceProducts.com. And by SprintCars.com. Moments ago, here was Steve Osling as he got out of his race car, arguably the biggest win of his career. Let's have a chance to talk to him in our Auto Trader Magazine's Victory Circle.
Steve, not a bad way to end off the season.
No, it's too bad the season's over, but the car's been great in and out every week, and we finally just managed to put everything together for 50 laps. And I got a 20 lapper a couple weeks ago, and that was really great. Felt great, and we needed to win, but 50 laps, and we led a bunch of it, and the car was just awesome. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better car.
That'll wrap things up for our 2002 season, and we'd like to thank these great people for their participation here with SCRA. For all of us, for the SCRA TV crew, I'm J.R. Ibarra. Thank you so much for being with us the entire season. We'll see you back again in 2003. So long, everybody.